Oh, hey. Are you like me? Sometimes you just get bored of playing the same chords over and over again, and you would like to find something different, something unique, something alternative. I made this video for you to share some of my favorite alternative tunings to awaken your creativity and connection to your guitar. We live in a standard tuned guitar world, and unless you learn a new pattern or a new chord or a new scale shape, you're kind of stuck there. And so this idea is that we tune the guitar to an open tuning. And when we tune the guitar to an open tuning, we tune it to an open chord. And we tune it to an open chord, it sounds musical. And so for instance, I'm in standard tuning. E, A, D, G, B, E. We call this standard tuning. I play it open. It sounds like a standard tuned guitar. It doesn't sound musical. I've never heard a psalm open the psalm by going, it's just not a chord, versus this. It's probably the most famous guitar chord available. G major, it's beautiful. C major, D major, E minor, relative minor, A minor, B minor. It's music, it's beautiful. But what if we want to get out of the pattern, the having to play the actual form of the chord and just strum it openly and make a sound? Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tune this guitar to an open G. All right. Open G. I just strum it and it sounds like a chord. Ooh, beautiful chord. Those harmonics. It's like a new guitar. If I took this G chord that I know here forever, it doesn't sound the same at all. What happened? I tuned my guitar to an open G. In other words, I tuned it to the chord G. So the notes in the chord G are G, B, and D. It's a major triad. G, 1, B, the third note of the scale, and D, the fifth note of the scale, 1, 3, 5. So we have a major triad G, B, and D on the top three strings. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so what I have is D, G, D, G, B, D, or an open G chord. If I play those same chords that I play on my open guitar, there's my G. You can put little color chords into it. If I just take a bar and I go to my 5th fret and I start on that C note on my 5th fret, I literally play a straight chord. C major, D major, G major. Now watch this. If I just play it, but I add just my, leave that G open now. I'm just making it more of a color. Oh, it's pretty. So I'm still 5th fret, 7th fret, but I'm creating a more of a color chord by allowing the strings to be open. There's my E minor. One of the things that immediately happens to me when I do this tuning is this intuitive part of my playing comes to the table. In other words, if the guitar, when I strum it, is in an open chord, then it's like my mind is free of the patterns that I've learned on guitar. Instead, I just start exploring note combinations. Or singular notes or intervals, two notes together. So I start exploring, like I've just picked up the guitar for the first time, but everything sounds beautiful because it's an open chord. And that's the freedom of open tunings. Instead of having the box system of standard tuning where I learn shapes within the box and I learn how to go vertically on the guitar, kind of up and down, what the open tuning gives to me is this horizontal approach to the guitar. If I'm in open G and I start going up, A minor, B minor, C, D major, E minor, and then I could do maybe an alternative chord there leading back up into my G. It's beautiful. This is open G. This is why I love open G. It's creative, it's limited because you're in G major. If I wanted to break out of G major and I wanted to play in a minor, I would have to just tune my B string, would be it. Now, every time I tune the guitar, I change the tension on the neck, which then will affect my other strings. I'm not even going to care if I'm completely in tune. I'm just going to play the G minor. Ooh, that's mysterious. Cool sound. Now I have to relearn the neck again. Everything I knew from G major, most of it is not actually going to be the same. You have to relearn it now, but it's there and it has this beautiful I can also go with that B string, instead of down to B flat, up to C. And this kind of leads us into the next grouping of tunings we'll go into. But what this is unique now because instead of a G major, a 1, 3, 5, a G, B, D, I've changed this to G, C, D. 1, 4, 5, a suspended fourth chord. And so now I'm not committed to major or minor, but I'm in a suspended chord world, which allows me to play major or minor. See, now I'm G minor. Interesting. Or I can go back to major. So the suspended fourth chord gives me the ability to keep my scales, my modes more open. I'm still locked into G, but now I can play major, minor, or any variation of major and minor scales. I'm not so locked into G major. So that will segue us to the next tuning, which is a beloved tuning by many, many guitarists. It is DADGAD. Welcome to DADGAD. DADGAD is D, A, D, G, A, D. One of the most popular alternative tunings. DADGAD is an open D suspended fourth chord. It's basically another suspended chord, which keeps us open. It's an open chord ready to go in any direction you want to take it as a musician. The chord that we're playing here is a D, G, which is our fourth note of the scale, and A, our fifth note of the scale. 1, 4, 5, suspended 4. And then I have on this tuning a high D, middle D, and a low D. That's 3 octaves of the D. I also have my high A and my low A, which makes it 2 octaves of A, and then this beautiful G in the middle, which I can fret on the 2nd fret. And now I have a big D and A chord, just a 5, perfect 5th. Or on the 7th fret, that's a D note now on the G string. And I still have this perfect 5th, big open, very modal sounding instrument that is reminiscent to a sitar from Indian classical music. Or a sarod has a very open tuning like this. I have so many directions I can take this tuning, which is what is incredible about it. It sounds beautiful in harmonics. It sounds really cool as a drum. If I just tap on the 12th fret. I can also it's really a creative tuning. Again, one of the most popular tunings on guitar that's not standard tuning. What it does for me is it makes me want to play horizontally. It makes me want to play modally. That's one of the techniques that really comes natural to me when I play on this tuning. And it gives me a lot of freedom. Comes world music. I have to relearn my fingering, but I just start exploring chord shapings. I also have this very cool bass and guitar melodicism combined. And I can easily glide into a major scale. DADGAD. So much great music in DADGAD, so many great players that play in DADGAD. It is fun. It's just an awesome tuning. This tuning will lead us over to one of my all-time favorite tunings and one that I play in quite often. Same philosophy. It is a suspended 4th chord, but we're going to go into C suspended 4th, or also called C modal. Another amazing open chord. This one is deep, it's low, dropping our low E all the way down to a C. 2 whole steps down from E, D, down to C. I was not sure when I first went into this tuning if my guitar could handle it, because it feels like I'm letting all this tension out, and every guitar is different. But I find that generally speaking, acoustic guitars can handle this C tuning, and it gives us this really amazing rich low C, which on standard tuning, as you know, the standard tune position of C, the low note is on the 5th fret. It's a whole octave higher than this. We might call this cello tuning because it goes down to a cello C kind of a range. It's an octave lower than the C we're used to playing on the guitar, which gives it a whole new voicing and a whole new playground. It also is very modal for me. I would also call this the Sarod tuning. C, G, C, and F. And so this tuning came from my studies on the Sarod. What is interesting to me about this tuning is that it opens up this very modal way of playing horizontally in a very natural way. It becomes a very droning instrument. I love singing to this particular tuning. I love to explore different scales. I've composed many songs on this. I find that it's beautiful for the chords. C major chord, beautiful F major chord. There's a G major, A minor, there's like a B flat thing, big open C major chord. It's just a really fun and open tuning to explore. One of the things that I love to do in this tuning, as well as all the open tunings and standard tuning as well, is use a capo. And the capo gives us freedom because now all of a sudden we go out of C and we start to capo the position up the neck, and we can go to D or anything. We can go to C sharp, we can go to E flat. These are all really beautiful tunings. I'm going to demonstrate. One thing to note is anytime you put a capo down, you need to retune the guitar. All of a sudden now I'm in E flat, and so if I did an E flat major thing, beautiful. I could even go up further. I'm not going to try to fine tune this, but here I am in F. What happens is that all the patterns that I learned with the open C now are still relevant. They just are positioned up. So this would be like my open, and then everything that I play now as the major scale is the same pattern as when it was open. And so I all of a sudden have all of these keys starting with C all the way up. I have the whole fretboard. Now the farther I go up, the higher they are. The guitar becomes a completely different voicing at this stage. So we will stop there for now. That was 4 tunings: the standard tuning, open G, the DADGAD, and the C modal tuning. That is a huge playground and a huge kind of area of exploration for you to dive deeper into. And what's so cool about these tunings is there are no rules. You can change one string, change a note, and you've opened up a whole new world. And what that can do for you is that all of a sudden you have to rediscover what you know, and that taps into your intuitive sense and your sense of exploration. You have to get out of your mind and just listen, start using your ears and discovering what feels good, what sounds good. Many guitar players go into open tunings, and as probably you know if you're watching this, it's like you become a new guitar player because it just opens up a whole new world of creative possibilities, of voicings, of expressiveness. It's really a beautiful world to explore on the guitar. So thank you for watching. Please, if you are interested in learning more and connecting to the guitar, not only as a source of music entertainment, but also as a practice, as a grounding practice for self-care, wellness, for creativity. In the description below, there's a link that will take you to a practice that is one of my really grounding practices with music. And it's on the guitar, it's in DADGAD tuning, and it's really about connecting to the guitar, taking a few deep breaths, and really using the guitar, using this practice as a way to calm my energy, to focus my mind, and to get into a good place. I use this practice daily. I use it for just a few minutes if that's all I have, or as a beginning kind of entry point into my bigger guitar practice. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next video.